Yo, yo, post game live, Sunday edition, Knicks free agency edition. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of Knicks news, Knicks rumors in regards to free agency. We got a special guest on the third screen, so let's get into it. Knicks Nation, what's good? It's post game live. CP Fanatic in the building. My guy Jay Ellis on the other side. Jay Ellis, what's good, bro? How you feeling out there, man? You staying cool, bro?
I'm trying, man. I'm sweating buckets. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in this hot ass room reporting Knicks.
It's hot, man.
Trying to have my fan away from the mic so I don't hear all that, but
dedication.
There's a lot of news to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
It's a lot to talk about, man. And we got a special guest for the third screen. It's one of the hardest working people that's doing this Knicks content, man. This dude is definitely on his game.
Facts.
Sharp. Definitely committed to the Knicks Nation in terms of getting us that content, man. My guy Jeff, a.k.a. JB, a.k.a. the Knicks Film School. What's going on, bro? Welcome to the show, man.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. I've been a fan watching you guys, so glad to join.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Definitely glad to have you on. All right, so let's get into it, man. A lot going on. Free agency started last night. Woj was up. There was a midnight special on ESPN. Woj was breaking all the news. Yeah, I was up until like 2 a.m., man, watching this stuff, man. But
yeah, no, it's better to be out like in LA this time of year. You got that 3 hours to save you. You know what I mean?
Facts. So first domino to fall, Enes Kanter, man. Jeff, I'm gonna start with you. Give me your thoughts on the Kanter opting in. How do you like that move?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all knew that this was coming, right? It was inevitable, and Kanter is having some fun with it, on social media and whatnot.
Trolling, dude. This dude was trolling all week.
You know, it's funny, and I called him out about that, and people had a problem with me. They're like, "Oh, just let him have some fun," and it's like, we've been letting him have fun for like 6 months. I'm not saying I hate the man. I'm just saying, like, dude, just
relax.
Yeah, exactly.
I got so used to it. I don't even take him seriously. I just start laughing at him at this point.
No, I know.
Yeah, he's got a good heart, man. He's
Kanter.
Yeah, he's got a good heart.
He's a good guy. And if you think about it, it's just like, it shows you like the way you come across can change perception. Because here's a guy, he's out there like doing charity things. Every time you look, he's with kids in some gym doing stuff. I mean, he's a stand-up guy. Obviously, all the off-court things going on, back in his home country, and every reason to root for him. But like, he just is like a little bit off with his humor. Like, my wife calls him Borat of basketball, and it's like that's pretty much him. That's just it. So. But no, I'm fine. The whole idea of him opting in. I know a lot of people, it's like you mention anything and they're in your mentions, like, opt out, blah, blah.
They get triggered, man.
Oh, yeah.
They get triggered.
They're not going to use that cap space this year anyway. So, what's the problem?
Jay Ellis, what's your take on it?
The same, man. First of all, I like to Shams, man. Shams ruined Kanter's rollout. First of all, Shams came out.
Yeah, he ruined it because Kanter was trying to come out with Bill and Hillary. He was trying to make Knicks great again.
Yeah,
Shams ruined it for him, man. He was tight.
The NY media did his due diligence, man. They knew the news before he knew the news, and they put it out like 2 hours before he wanted to. Kanter had the Photoshop file ready with him cut out and the American flags in the background.
Yeah, already. he was ready, man. 4th of July weekend, he was ready, bro.
Yeah, just to say make Knicks great again.
Yeah.
And Chance doing that rollout, but it's all good. You knew what you was doing, Kanter. You knew where you was staying, but it's fine.
Oh man. Yo, JL, just move your camera down a little bit.
Down, all
right. Yeah, perfect. My take on the Kanter thing, look, we got nothing to lose this year if he opts into the deal. I think, there's a couple reasons why I like the deal. Number one, we could use his offensive productivity. We know what his defensive weaknesses are. But with KP being out, we could definitely use a lift. And, offensively, offensive rebounding, getting on those boards, those high percentage buckets. We could still use that in on this team and in this lineup.
Most definitely, because when you're looking at our whole team, you start to you think about where are our points coming from. We don't know if Beasley will be back as of now.
True.
Tim Hardaway Jr., he seemed like he was starting against rhythm, like carrying the load offensively, but I don't know if I would really count on him right now to say I can rely on this guy to get buckets night in and night out. Trey Burke had some promise towards the end of the season, but it's still yet to be seen if he can do that throughout the whole year. So there's a lot of question marks on the scoring side of the ball. So that's why me, knowing how efficient Enes Kanter is, really love the Enes Kanter signing, even though some Knicks fans aren't so big on that.
Yeah, Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, no, like we're saying, I mean, it doesn't hurt them, and I think it does matter more than people think, even with the young roster, to have some players who can go out there, put up some.
Take the load off. Especially Knox. Knox, Mitchell. You need that pro man that can take the load off and knows how to handle that grind.
Yeah. I always say it's like in baseball, right? You need like some innings eaters, and that's kind of what Kanter's going to do for him.
Yeah. I have no problem with that. You never know. Fizdale might, he's getting him to shoot threes more. Obviously, Fizdale's going to get on him about his defense. You never know. He might turn into something that you may want to keep going forward, or like I said, he could still be an asset for us. So,
and I know some people are clamoring to have Mitch
Robinson. He's not ready, man. He's not ready yet.
Man. Yeah. He was, but the last time he played basketball, it was with kids who were like 16 and 17 years old.
We can't do that, man. We can't have the kid out there. He hasn't played organized basketball in a year. And I think he's going to be a long-term project, man. We got to temper expectations for Mitchell Robinson.
Most definitely.
For sure.
Shout out Jonathan Mackey joining us in the Twitter
Jonathan's coming up next week, man.
Yeah,
Jonathan's coming up next week.
JW guy right there.
Yo, listen, man. The third screen has become a screen of quite distinction, man. We going in.
That's where the power is.
That's where it is, man. So definitely shout out Jonathan Macri. Let's see who else is in the chat real quick. Everybody in the chat, let us know what you think about Enes opting in, man. How do you feel about it? Shout out everybody in the chat. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next live streams. T. Williams in here. ATM X Next. Tyon Reed, what's going on? Delano Steele says Enes Kanter, he's stable at the center position. Definitely a starter over our current starters. And look, that's the thing, right? I think, with Enes signing with the team, KO looks like he could be the odd man out. I mean, what do you guys think about that in terms of KO's free agency prospects?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a big KO fan, so.
Yeah, me too, man. I like KO this year. I thought he played well for us, man. Definitely.
He's played every year. He's improved year to year steadily, man. He didn't have that defensive ability a couple of years ago. And all of a sudden, you see him, he's starting to block shots. He's had the pass, and he seems like he's even gotten better at that. So, I mean, I feel like when it comes to the Knicks and, like, the Nets, positive and negatives, I think him and KP were the highest on the team. So, I love KO. I wish we could bring him back. It's not looking real good right now based off the news we're seeing. But I love KO's game, man, and his personality.
Yeah. Although, have you guys seen, like, there have been, and you never know, like, what is this, like, the Knicks putting stuff out here to kind of, justify things. But there have been some whispers that maybe he wasn't as good in the locker room as people think. Like, we all see him.
Really?
Yeah, like, we all see him, and it's like, how do you not like this guy? Like, he's just bleeding with personality, right? But I heard Alan Hahn say it on his radio show, and then. I mean, it was from Bondi, but I saw in the Daily News it came out, with that idea. So again, I don't know if it's just the Knicks.
That's interesting. I didn't hear that, man. That's very interesting.
Yeah, but I tend not to believe. I mean, I feel like people's personalities are what they are, right? So like you don't just change who you are like on certain points, and we see a lot of that guy like outside, playing every day and just outside the court, going to charity things and. I guess he's doing bar mitzvahs too. And
he said he's the bar mitzvah king, man.
Yeah. So, it's hard for me to believe he goes from being a super cool dude to, he's a problem or, he's an issue in the locker room.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even think that's true, man. I've seen, even when Phil Jackson was here, I think he was talking about how good a locker room guy he was and his reputation of him being a good locker room guy in Orlando, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
But so that's surprising. I don't know, man. Not Kyle, not my guy.
KO, man.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I think to me, KO was a prototypical what we were looking for in a backup five. I thought he came in and did well. Get on the boards, block shots. I think he averaged over 1 block shot a game. He was definitely underrated at passing. He made some boneheaded plays sometimes, but how many times did we see out of that timeout him and McBuckets making that connection off the inbound? Yeah.
And then him and Moutier.
Him and Moutier. So I think KO's definitely gonna be missed. But I think Begley was saying that Philly could have an inside track on KO.
Yeah, even Golden State has
Golden
been
State.
Right?
KO, I think KO would fit in well at Golden State, man.
Yeah, they don't have the ducats though.
They don't have as much. Yeah.
I think they only have like $5 million or something like that.
Oh, okay. And KO was making about 4.5 this year, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think unless he just strictly wants to go there for the ring.
Yeah.
Which is possible.
Right.
It seems like in my eyes, the 76ers is winning right now.
I think we got a caller on the air. Yo.
Hey.
Yo, who's this?
Paul from New Jersey. I'm Knicks fan.
Yo, I think your connection coming in kind of choppy. Can you call back?
Yeah, I can.
All right, call right back. All right. Yeah, so that was KO. So it looks like we're gonna lose KO. Who else? Kornet signed today. We signed Kornet to a 1-year, $1.6 million deal. Jay Ellis, what's your take on Kornet? What do you think about him?
Kornet showed some signs last season. He came in as a 3-point shooter, and he was a little iffy on that end, but he showed some glimpses. So we really just have to develop him and wait and see what we have. I do like that he has really good defensive instincts. He has propensities to block some shots.
Mm-hmm.
My only knock on him really, which is not his fault, it's just the limitations laterally for him and be able to be mobile and move around.
Caller, hold on.
And have 2 playmakers.
Yeah,
The hocus pocus by Van Fleet.
Okay, yeah, hold on one second.
Kornet, no hesitation, drills the 3-pointer.
We'll get to the caller. Caller, give me 1 second.
Yeah, his ability to move around laterally. I wish it was a little bit more, but I do like his upside and what he can become as a 3-point
right
shooter.
to Pirtle. Pirtle passes the
Hopefully,
telecast. The Raptors made
actually finish at the rim this year too. I know he's been working on that.
minor trade today as well.
Facts. JB, what's your
Pass
take
goes
on
inside,
Kornet?
back out. CJ Miles. Miles lost it off his foot.
He's one of
Picked
the
up.
guys that's been working out with all
the remainder of the season.
Right?
Thanks,
Like,
Rebecca. Well,
they've all been
unfortunately for the
working out
Knicks
every
with
day,
the
so
injury.
there's something to say about, you
Porzingis
bringing in a
stat
new
has
guy, versus a guy that's already been working with that group and, came up through Westchester and everything. So, I think for the deal it's at, it just makes sense to keep him around.
Yeah, I think it was a preemptive strike too, because I was reading before that based on summer league, other teams liked him.
Yeah.
And they was able to pay a little bit more. I think another team could have came in and snuck him away from the Knicks if he performed well at summer league. So I think that was like a preemptive strike, first of all, to prevent him from going somewhere else. And also, if you looked at the Kyle Quinn situation, he probably didn't seem like he was coming back to the Knicks anyway. So they figured, you know what, let's keep what we have in the house right now, and not even worry about Kyle Quinn since he's a little iffy.
Yeah.
And just protect what we have in our assets. So.
Yeah, well, I definitely think we could use the big man help. Obviously, with KP being out, we're probably going to lose KO. You don't know what Noah's going to give you. I think he could still give us some good minutes, but you're not sure where his head is even at. So I think, Kornet is a good hedge. I think he has some potential. Could definitely be a potential stretch 4 off the bench. And, like I said, we'll see what Fizdale does with him in terms of his player development. So that was Luke Kornet, 1-year deal, $1.6 million. Let's get back to the caller. What's going on, bro?
You.
Yeah, what's going on? My name's Paul from New Jersey, big time Knicks fan.
Paul from Jersey, what's good, man? JB, J. Ellis, can you guys hear Paul?
Perfect. Yeah, we can hear you good.
All right, Paul, what's up, man? What's your take on Kanter, KO? What's your take on Knicks free agency so far?
It's pretty good. Did you guys hear about the meeting with Hezonja?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that portion. We're gonna get to Herzonja in a minute, but yeah, Herzonja was definitely offered a 1-year deal for a portion of the mid-level exemption.
Yeah, the last thing I heard was there was a 1-year deal on the table, but I really like that Kanter's gonna stay. I know he's got 1 more year left, right? And then he's off the books.
Yeah, this is it.
I thought he played great. I went to a couple games last year at home at MSG, and I mean he averaged 14-11, and it was
Go
a really
forward
good
with
rebounder. He had multiple games we had over 20 rebounds. Kylo Quinn,
Right block by Kornet. He's got his first three, and his first block gets the pass. Back out to Thomas. Lance Thomas, a three-pointer. That won't go.
Is if they do sign Herzonja, who showed a lot of flashes last year, do you guys think that they should start him or not?
And have 2 playmakers.
Ooh,
It's a good question.
The hocus pocus by Van Fleet, but he couldn't finish.
I would say get Knox.
Kornet, no hesitation.
You know what I mean? There's no rush. Obviously, we're anxious to see what he can be. But, you know, if you have Herzonja there, I would say just bring Knox along slowly. He's real young. Just let him take his time and let Herzonja take the initial brunt, you know, for Knox. But what do you guys think? J. Ellis, what do you think?
I agree with you. I think you have to have Herzonja in at this point first and foremost. I actually kind of iffy on signing small forwards in general, but that's what the Knicks doing. I understand what they're doing, but I really want to throw Knox in the fire. But if you're gonna have a guy who's had some NBA experience in here, it's kind of weird to have him come off the bench, especially if he's a young guy. You want to develop him as well. So
True that. JB, what's your take?
yeah. I mean, because he's so young, it's like I don't have a problem. I know. I mean, I've seen a lot that suggests obviously that Fizdale has no problem starting him no matter what his age is, right? So
right.
Sometimes I think the whole starting role is a little overrated. It's more about how many minutes are you playing and when in the game are you playing, right? So if Knox is coming off the bench, but he's still playing an adequate number of minutes and he's in crunch time, right? Like, I think we'd all be happy with that, especially if he's, you know, it's not like some, you know, veteran who's not anything part of the team's future. I think, you know, some guy's like 35 and he's playing every night. People are going to start, you know, having a fit at MSG.
Yeah, you heard that, Jeff?
Yeah. Yo, Paul, thanks for the call, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and keep in touch, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for talking.
All right, take it easy, man.
My chat is protesting. They're like, "Oh hell nah." Start Knox.
No, look. I'm not saying Herzonja is better than Knox. All I'm saying is, if the kid needs a bit of time to get in there and, you know, get his feet wet a little bit, just give him some time. Like Jeff said, if he's going to get his minutes, you know, whether it's starting or not, he's going to get his minutes and he's going to get that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Most definitely. And let's be real here. Training camp is gonna show some things. Training camp is gonna show some things. Whoever earns the minutes, if Knox is able to take it from him, he's gonna take it from him straight up, point blank, period.
Right.
And I don't think Fizz is going to hold him back. He's not gonna be like, well, you're too young to overtake that starting spot. If he wins it from him, he wins it from him.
Yeah, no, and those are the two themes we've heard is he doesn't have a problem giving minutes even if he's young. Yeah. But they also want them. I mean, this is the whole reason they like Knox. He competed in the workout, right? So it's like if he comes to training camp, like you say, and he's, you know, outworking the competition to get his spot, then he'll get his spot. You know, I think that's how they want to run it.
True that. Let's see, we got another call in here. Yo. Turn your volume down, bro.
All right, yo.
What's good?
What's going on, fellas?
What's good, man? Who's this?
Man, this is JJ all the way from out in LA, man. I'm a Laker fan, but I'm a Knicks fan behind the scenes, man.
We got a Laker fan in the building.
You got tired of waiting on LeBron, so you're calling about the Knicks.
Yeah, you waiting on LeBron, bro? What's your deal, man?
Yeah, it's a Laker, it's a LeBron watch out here, man. He can't go anywhere without signs being posted, man. So we waiting on the king to come over, man.
Lord.
So you would welcome that move to the Lakers? Can Magic pull it off?
I think so, man. Word on the street is they got a dinner coming up pretty soon, man. So I think, you know, Magic doesn't stop smiling, man. So I think the smile is going to win him over. But to be honest, man, I think the Lakers got a better team right now than the Cavs if you really look at them top to bottom. So
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully the intrigue of Hollywood and what the extra money LeBron can make on the side, you know, hopefully that wins him over, man.
True that, man. Yo, Jonathan, appreciate the call, my dude. I definitely appreciate you, bro.
Real quick question though, man.
Yeah.
I got some Knicks talk, man.
Okay, all right, yeah,
okay.
what's up?
I think the biggest problem, man, as far as looking at the Knicks is the point guard situation. So I wanted to know, man, do y'all think putting Frank on the summer league team is that sign to come? Are we testing him out? Are we trying to see if we're going to keep him or not?
What do you mean keep him?
Okay, listen, man. for the Frank haters, Frank ain't going anywhere.
No, exactly.
So Jay Ellis, you're a believer in Frank.
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
a believer in Frank, no doubt. First of all, the defensive numbers first year as a rookie is already off the charts.
Yeah.
Frank is not going anywhere. Even if his offense doesn't come along, which I know it will anyway, he still has a place in this league.
The question is he the one or the two?
That's the real question.
Is Frank the one or the two? And because you heard Perry came on with Stephen A. earlier this week, and he was asked about specifically Tim Hardaway Jr.'s role, and Perry specifically said that Timmy's gonna be at the two.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know what? The one is still remains to be seen. Frank's been working on his dribbles, so you don't know if he's gonna be the one. Trey Burke did well for us last season, and we still got Moutier. So either one of those guys can win out the one, man. It's going to be a battle.
True that.
So why add him to the summer league team? You don't protect him? I mean,
he needs work.
Is that not risk for injury?
He needs reps.
He needs a lot of work.
I don't know if he was watching the Knicks crazy last season, but Jeff didn't exactly have him on the longest leash, man. Like if he, I feel like Jeff's rotations kind of stunted Frank's growth. He was afraid to make mistakes. If he made one mistake, he yanked him out the game. It was even some games where he was playing really well, he yanked him out the game. So I don't think Jeff was really good at developing Frank and giving him the room to grow. So you got to give him those reps at point guard. And I think summer league is the perfect time to do that.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely needs that time, man. Yo, Jay, I'm going to take another call, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
Yo, thanks, man.
All right, man.
All right, we got another call. Yo.
Yo, what's up, man? This is Doc Ross, man.
Doc Ross.
From Atlanta, and yeah, man, long time, bro. I've only been a Knicks fan the whole life and everything.
Oh man, same here, man. We're all doing life bids in this thing, man. We all live together, bro. Don't worry about it, man.
Yo, so let me tell some people something about Frank, man.
Okay.
Clyde Drexler said it himself that Frank reminds him of himself, a younger version of himself. And he said, like, Clyde Drexler didn't have a good rookie year. It started after his second year. Tony Parker swears about Frank Ntilikina. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't understand why everybody dogging on Frank. Frank is better than Alonzo Ball. The only reason why is that Frank's dad stopped hyping him up. So I don't understand what's all the hate from Frank coming. Like, get a guy like 2 years. Kofi was decent the first year, but let's get something straight. Everybody thought, KP was going to be scrubby because he was a tall, lanky white dude from Europe. But then when he surprised him, I'm like, yo, but then his second year he came through. So I don't understand why everybody hating on Frank and everything. Like, I'm like, yo, keep him. Because if you look at Knicks history, this is facts right here. We giving away a lot of players that we shouldn't. Think, what's the guy named? Chandler. We gave away Chandler. We gave away Chandler Fry. We gave away a couple of players that we could have developed, and they could have been good. We gave away Teron Reza. Right? So I'm like, yo, just chill out. Let's see how Frank do his second season, and, everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah. I think the reason people are hesitant on Frank, I think people find a hard time seeing the potential in him.
Yeah.
And, especially we get spoiled nowadays, man, when we see these kids coming in and look at Donovan Mitchell, led his team to the playoffs. Look at, even Ben Simmons had a year off, but still came in and dominated. Some of these guys are coming in real young, real early and placing their impact on the league, and then when you look at Frank, that's not everybody.
Look at Victor Oladipo, man.
Yeah, it takes time. Some guys take time.
Yeah, but I understand. But check this out, right? Everybody hyping up Ben Simmons and Embiid, right? Those dudes was injured. At least Frank didn't get injured like his rookie season. Like those dudes, it wasn't technically injured. It was for 2 years. Embiid was out for 2 years and everything. So, people, they want a process, and Knicks fans, the two Knicks fans want the process to hold on. Other people just let's just get it still, but it takes time to develop a team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yo, appreciate the call, my dude. Definitely stay in touch, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. I like the show, man. All three of y'all keep it up, man. Hold it down for Knicks Nation, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Definitely appreciate it, bro.
All right, catch you later.
All right.
God, you gotta trust the process, man.
We gotta trust the process, man. Like
the progress, man.
We just
it just
go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, JB.
I think that the point too is what things did he struggle with, right? I mean, when you have a kid that is as young as Frank and doing just like the fundamental things on defense, that's what the reason I think on the other side, people who like Frank get excited because they say, okay, we can teach him to tighten up his handle. We can teach him to be more aggressive. We can get that shot to fall down a little bit more, right? But like just things of like general awareness and how to do the little things that you need to pay attention on defense, that's usually what's slow for a young player to learn, right?
And he's
and then just obviously his body, right? Like his length and the way he's built playing, a guard position. So those things he just has natural, and we can teach the rest. I say all Knicks Nation can teach the rest.
You said it right.
You said it right, man. It is we, man. Right. It is we.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. Like, listen, players who don't have the high basketball IQ worry the hell out of me, man. Because those guys, they'll be in the league 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and they still don't get it. You got somebody who's getting it year one. I feel like everything else is going to be easy. I feel like handle is reps. That's all it is. Reps.
Yep. Yeah.
Jump shots, reps.
Let's see what the chat thinks about Frank. Caller, hold on 1 second. Let's see what's going on here. See, T. Williams says, how do you teach aggression? So I think T. Williams says Frank equals Ariza. Well, I don't know, man.
I think he means a 3-and-D person. I think that's what he's
right.
talking about.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Which is possible, but I feel like he has a little bit more passing ability than Ariza does at this point of his. So I still feel like he's at his height. He'll have a little bit more of a rounder game than Ariza's.
Let's see. Bro, what's good? Bro says Frank will be better on the Fizdale. New Jizzle says Frank will be all right. Let's see who's in here on the Frank. Matthew Trofimo says Frank will be gone if Kyrie comes. Trey Burke is our sixth man.
How about
Better
Moody?
Not let that dude go.
Yeah,
just
we
can't
even bring
wait.
up Moutier.
Yeah, we haven't even brought up Moutier. I think Frank is gonna be here to stay, man.
Frank's gonna be here, man.
I think Frank is going to be here to stay. Let's see who else in the chat. AC Canty, what's going on? W here, what's good? Sean Stewart in the building. T-Mac, what's good? Payback Carter in here. What's good, everybody? Troy Flett, what's good?
Word.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's.
Was good, yo. Kyle Rock Webson was good. Sorry, I got to hold.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Hold down your chat, Jay. Let's go ahead, man.
Some people say early. Drip Bayless is a regular.
Drip Bayless is a regular, man.
Drip was good. Drip. Ted Green was good. Little RJ Unlimited was going on, man. Nice to see y'all in the chat. Keep it up. Come back to the next chat next week.
Yeah, man. All right, so Jeff, you want to break down where we are with the salary cap real quick and see how much money we have to spend based on Kanter opting in. Let me just pull up my salary cap graphic real quick.
Yeah, because you know me, I like my graphics of all my crazy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let me pull you up here, man. Give me 1 second.
It's not film school; it's math school with this.
There it is. All right, here we go, man. But, so what are we looking at? I mean,
it's important because one thing is there's a lot of like different cap tools and tables out there now, but a lot don't put in when you look future, like the draft pick cap holds, and then also the min roster spot. So I think what people forget, even thinking this year, is if you sign a player to a 2-year deal that's close to the min, it doesn't really kill your cap space in 2019 as much as you think, because you still would have to account for, so like if you're looking in that 2019-20 column on that bottom, that mid roster charge, right? Like that is the rookie minimum amount times the number of missing roster spots. So if you only have, say, 8 guys on your books, you still get charged for 4 missing roster spots. So the point is, if you sign a guy to a 2-year deal because you want to get him, right? Like that's not the end of the world. And that's why I hope the Knicks realize that, because the difference in the salary is not going to be huge on what you get charged anyways, right? So So that just explain that for a second. But obviously you can see for this year, we're over the cap. So it's the exceptions that are left. You have that mid-level for like 8.6. You got the biannual for 3.4. Mm-hmm. And the thing with Mitchell Robinson is if you want to sign him for more than 1 year minimum deal, you're going to have to use a little bit of one of those exceptions, which is why when people are asking, why aren't they offering, say, the full exception to one of these free agents they're talking to, it's because they might be keeping a piece of that for Mitchell Robinson. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And then you could see in 2019 to get to a max spot. So if it's at a $109 million cap, what's it say? Yeah, $32 million for a max spot. We're at about $20 million right now. So that's where the whole conversation about whether you stretch Noah, whether you trade Courtney Lee, the different things you'd have to do to get from 20 to 32 million, and why, again, they don't want any money. They don't want any new money this summer that goes into 2019 because they still got to make up some space to get to that max spot.
Got you. All right, so let's go into, before we get to 2019, let's go into some of the prospects that we have so far. So we touched on Herzonja being offered that deal. I mean, what do you guys think about this kid? What's your take, Jay Ellis, on Herzonja?
At first, I wasn't feeling him because I actually did I talked about him a little bit on the podcast, and I talked about him twice. First, I wasn't really feeling him, but when I came back to him, I saw that after the I think it was after the trade deadline and everything passed and the year passed, he looked back and he realized that he took a step forward. So he's like, all right, well, maybe there's something here. But I think maybe that there was a fire lit under his ass because the Magic didn't really pick up his option, and he was a little bit motivated. And he had like a stretch. He had like a 31-game stretch where he was just kind of balling out, and he shot 47% from the field. He's averaging 13 points and 4.3 rebounds a game, and he just seemed a lot more aggressive. So when I saw that, I was like, all right,
he looked good against us.
So, man, listen, man, he killed us when we played the Magic, man. Yeah. I thought he was toying with us, man.
Yeah.
So based off that, I'm like, all right, Fizz has this new development, all these new development coaches here. We have this guy who has raw talent who shows some promise. Bring him in, see what we can do. Man, let's see what happens.
JB, what's your take on the kid?
Yeah. And first, shout out to my man Payback Carter in the chat. What's going on, man?
Payback's active on Twitter, man. He talks to everybody, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Facts. Shout out Payback Carter.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think a lot of Knicks fans like this idea because it's you're taking a young player that has potential. You're getting him maybe or most likely on a discount because obviously he hasn't turned into what Orlando hoped he would, and then they didn't even extend the qualifying offer, so he shouldn't even be available right now, right? He should still be, restricted by them. So the fact that you can get someone, it's like Moutier all over again, right? Where it's like, what's the risk? And then meanwhile, you could have some upside because remember, we could strike out in free agency next summer, and then you might decide, okay, this guy played good for us. We want to keep him, and now we had him on our team already, and they would only have. His non-bird rights on a 1-year deal. But the point is, it might be a little easier at that point to decide if you did want to keep him or what you wanted to do. So I just see it as a low risk, higher upside deal than if you are bringing in a veteran. And I've been big about, the benefits of having a veteran on a team with a lot of young guys, but obviously your upside isn't going to be the same. So, I think it's obvious why you would look at him.
Yeah. Go ahead, JLs.
Do you think we should have him in for have the first year, have him in for 1 year, and the second year be like a team option?
Yeah, I think that's what they would probably try to pitch, but I'm sure that's the negotiation would be, we want a player option, not the team option, right? So, because for the Knicks to throw in a team option, it doesn't cost them anything because then it's free. Right?
Yeah. It's insurance. We didn't get nobody. All right, we'll keep him in for another year.
Yeah, I'd almost say if someone comes here without that team option, you're kind of like, what was their agent doing if you just did a straight 1 year? Unless, again, they're thinking, oh, we'll go there. It'll be like a show and prove in a bigger market, and we don't want to get, stuck on a low salary next year when everyone's got cap space. Maybe after playing a year in New York and showing what we can do, you can go out and make some more money. So I guess that could be the way the player and agent are looking at it for just a 1 year.
And you brought up an interesting point on the cap, because I was surprised that a guy like Herzonja or anybody is so early in the game willing to take these 1 year deals. But then I've just pulled up a tweet from Zach Lowe, who explained that the cap going into next season is going to go up to 109 million, and then again it's going to go up to 116 million in 2021. So I guess it kind of makes sense why these guys would be going for these 1 year deals. Maybe go get some insurance on the future, and then try to look to cash out in the future years.
And good point in the chat here by Pedesans, if I said that right. But you would have KP, Mario, Moutier were 4, 5, 7 in the 2015 draft.
Interesting, man.
And Trey Burke, don't forget about Burke, 9.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Although I'm kind of worried about him being gone for nothing too, though.
Burke?
Yeah, Burke. I'm figuring. I'm just know we're gonna probably exercise this option for next season, but he balls out. He has a potential to leave for nothing as well, unless we actually end up trading him.
Yeah, no, I was bringing that up the other day. So what it is they would have his early bird rights, which allows them to sign him over the cap for up to the league average. So that would be around like 8 million or something. So they're going to have to, that's something, right? So they're going to have to decide during the year, close to the trade deadline, did he play himself into making more than that?
Right.
And if so, then I think you look to trade him so you don't lose him for nothing. But if not, then you just wait. You have those early bird rights, and he's got a low cap hold. So you say, okay, we could bring someone in and just re-sign him too, and that's a nice added piece to have on your roster.
Yeah, Trey's deal is real cheap right now. They got Trey in a good spot financially. But in terms of Herzonja, I mean, listen, I would take the risk on him. I would take the gamble on him. At this point, we need to be seeing if we could find diamonds in the rough, whether that's, some G League upstarts or, a guy like Herzonja who's trying to reclaim his career. So, it can't hurt. It definitely can't hurt. And that would be interesting, having him, KP, and Moutier on the same team from that draft. What was that, 2015 draft, right?
Yeah. Yep. And like Perry said, man, right now we're in the asset collection part of this team building, man. So we trying to collect as many young assets as humanly possible.
That's
be like the Celtics, and if something happens, maybe you can flip those young assets for either, some more assets or a superstar. Who knows?
True that. We got a caller up. Caller coming up. Yo, caller, what's up?
Burke was
it's New Gizzle.
New Jizzle, what's good, man? How's everything?
It's good here, man. My man JL was onto this last week. Fizdale isn't going to play our guards at 3. Somebody's got to go. We got 7. I say he's gone.
Well, look. I think Lee has to get traded at some point, right? Yeah. You guys would agree with that. Lee's got to get traded at some point.
Right.
Baker, they can give Baker a clipboard and get him ready for his coaching career. All right.
Right.
Now you have Dotson slide up to Lee's spot. You have Timmy, who's going to be starting. You have, and I think the one is going to come down to Burke and Frank, who starts.
Right. Who gets their fans hurt and has to sit on the bench?
That's Moutier. I think Moutier is going to have the most to prove.
Yeah.
Right. So that gives us 2 or 3 spots for free agency, and we got to get like a 3 and a 4.
You mean this year?
Yeah.
How many spots, JB, we have? I think we only have like 1, right?
Yeah, because they just signed Kornet. And then if they sign Mitchell Robinson, which I don't think is necessarily guaranteed, they could bring him on a 2-way deal. But I think
that's probably the best bet. But go ahead.
Yeah, but so they're at 14 with Kornet without Robinson, which means they got 1 spot left. So I think that you can carry up to 20 in off season. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go over 15. And then when you get closer to season, they're either trading someone like Lee, maybe something happens with Noah. But the point is, they don't have a ton of roster spots. They have 1, maybe 2, depending on what happens with Mitchell Robinson.
Knicks Film School, I have a question. It's been bugging me for a long time.
All right, let's see.
I'm wondering if you know. Ron Baker, no trade clause. Have you heard about that?
Yes. All right. And
is he going to waive it to get Kawhi Leonard? Is that your question, Jay Ellis?
No, like I didn't understand because I was trying to figure out like what the parameters of this no trade clause. It was like I needed a damn lawyer to figure out.
Yeah, no, we need to break that down. It's kind of complex, man. We need to break that down.
Yeah, and I'm no lawyer. Actually, when you guys have Macri on next week, he used to be a lawyer. He can maybe tell you better. But
all right, there we go.
But no, actually, Luke Kornet also now has a no trade clause.
Wow.
So this
what? Wait a minute.
What is going on, man? What is going on?
Wait. Okay. How does this happen? Wait, everybody's on now?
Yeah, break this down, man.
All right. So when a player signs a 1-year contract, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that contract, he could have bird rights on that team. So like Kornet, since he technically played last year on the Knicks, and now he has a 1-year deal, he could have, after 2 years, early bird rights. The way the CBA is that situation allows you to have a
right to Pirtle. Pirtle passes the telecast. The Raptors made a
player from being sort of
minor trade today as well.
Away from his bird rights.
Pass goes inside, back out. CJ Miles lost it off his foot.
Can impact here in the remainder of the season.
Max Rebecca, unfortunately for the Knicks with the injury.
Coming in and saying, Ron Baker, we like your floppy hair, so we're going to give you
some of the younger guys see who you can go forward with.
Because of the CBA rules, they have to give them.
Right block by Kornet. He's got his first three, and his first block gets the pass. Back out to Thomas. Lance Thomas, a three-pointer. That won't go.
That is insane.
So any young player who signs a 1-year deal gets another.
And have 2 playmakers.
Yeah, if they get it, if they
good rebound. The hocus pocus by Van Fleet, but he couldn't finish.
So it doesn't even come up.
Kornet, no hesitation, drills the three-pointer.
If you're a player and you sign that 1-year deal and you get the bird rights at the end of that deal, then you get.
My fault. I turned down the video. My fault. The video was too loud. My fault on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you get the no trade essentially if you're on a 1-year deal and at the end of that 1-year deal you have bird rights. That's just how the rule is written.
Okay, so it's 1 year and the bird rights. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. My fault. I had the volume up on the Kornet video. My apologies on that. I turned it down. JB, just go real quick again on that explanation, man. I had the volume up on your explanation, man. My fault.
Oh yeah, no problem. So it's not the Knicks aren't giving Ron Baker and Luke Kornet no trade clause. It's literally written in the NBA, the CBA rules that if you sign a 1-year deal and at the end of that 1 year you would have bird rights, then you get a no trade, the right to waive a trade.
Got it.
Yep.
So 1 year and bird rights equals automatic no trade clause.
Yep, that's it.
So
man, that's crazy,
so if it was like I want you 1 year, but I don't want your bird rights, that means you have no trade. You can waive that no trade clause, though.
Well, the player can decide to waive it, and some of these guys too. Remember, they're just going to be at that point. If they're on a 1-year deal like that, and they're probably not a guy who's like a major star in the league to begin with, so they're just happy to find probably a place to play. So, I don't think it'd be a big issue if they asked one of these guys to be traded if it was the right situation. But yeah, it comes down to the player.
All right.
That is madness. Yo, New Jizzle, thanks for the call, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, take it easy. That's crazy, man. All right, so let's go to the next guy, man. One of the fan favorites. What happens to the walking bucket in all of this, man? What happens with Michael Beasley?
MVBs.
What's your take, man? Are we gonna be able to sign this dude or not?
Well, again, it comes down to if you want to have him fill up one of those last roster spots. I mean, they could, and they can offer him because was part of their team last year, and they have what's called his non-bird rights. They can offer him up to the league average salary, so they could it'd be like around $8 million, and go over the cap to sign him. So they definitely could bring him back. It's just a question of, do you want that last roster spot filled with Beasley now, or do you think, what do you guys think? Do you think based on how the roster is looking right now, you rather have a different type of player in here?
I mean,
what do you think, JLs? I think we could use his offense for sure, especially with KP out.
It's tough because we can really use his offense because exactly KP is out. He's a very efficient player. I would like to see him under Fizdale, having people held accountable for the defense and having him actually, be a defensive player who can actually help out. I want to see Beasley under Fizz, but at the same time, if I pull back and look at this roster in its entire scope, I know we're missing a defensive power forward as well as scoring. So
I don't see both. I don't see both Beasley and Herzonja being here. I think it's gonna end up being one or the other.
Yeah, it's got to be one or the other. Yep,
got to be one or the other. You know what I mean? And if I had to choose between the two, obviously I'm gonna go with Beasley just on the strength that he's been here already and he knows what's up, and he's worked on the Fizdale twice already.
Long term, that might not be as smart though. That's the other thing. Beasley might be better short term, but long term, if Herzonja turns into something else, or you're able to flip him, that could help us be better long term.
Who would you take, JB? Beasley or Herzonja? Who would you rather sign right now?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the youth. Again, I got to go with the upside, right? Like, we know what Beasley is.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Well, you definitely could use some added scoring. I think without KP, it's definitely true. They have an issue where they don't have many guys who you can just give the ball to and they can just, create a shot and, the walk-in bucket, right? But that being said, we know what he is. There's nothing extra we're going to get from him. So I'd rather have someone who it's like, okay,
create a shot.
I'm going to discount.
Caller, hold on. Caller, mute your volume. Go ahead, JB.
No, I was just finishing up. I'm just saying I'd rather have someone that could turn into something better after we sign him. Where Beasley, I don't think he's going to do anything better than he is. We know exactly what he is. You know what I mean?
True that. Yeah, I agree with that. Herzonja may be the better bet as far as the upside. We got a call coming in. Yo.
What's going on? Shout out to the chat. This is Cody.
Cody, what's good, my dude? How's everything,
good, man?
I'm doing well, man.
Yo, right. real quick, before you get into your point, Cody predicted Chicago Bulls draft this year in going Wendell Carter and Chandler Hutchinson later in the first round. He thought the Knicks were gonna benefit by getting Michael Porter Jr., but shout out to Cody for doing his research, man. He definitely predicted the Bulls' outcome in the draft.
The spy.
Okay. Yeah, calling because I was doing some intel again this week, so I have some new info to share. But before I do that, just quickly touching on some of the points you guys raised. Team Hicks right here, guys. I know you guys not big on the Hicks bandwagon, but just put him out there.
No Hicks, man.
I'm not a big Hicks guy either.
I'm not a big Hicks guy, man.
You guys aren't, because I didn't even know that.
Big body, who you can throw in there,
That's about it to me. A big body, and that's about it, man.
You can throw in. That's it. That's exactly what he is.
Hicks was underwhelming to me, man. But go ahead. What's the next point?
So I tell you, Beasley is not a fit guy. He's not a high IQ, no defense. I don't see Beasley really. It's just not a match. Dude wants a long-term deal. Let him rock in Atlanta for 3-4 years. Get his money. Good luck to him. Trading Lee. I think Philly is a huge target because Philly lost 2 of their big-time shooters last night. This morning.
Well, so it's over,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, they're going to need shooters. And so $12 million is doable for Philly, especially if they don't get like a LeBron or someone like that. But I think Philly is a real possibility right now just because, they are in need of shooters. And Lee is a veteran. Like you can see him doing okay against Boston. You can see him doing okay against Miami. He's not going to hurt you. So I think we should be on the phone with Philly just to kind of figure out what can be worked out.
Their line might be a little busy with some other people right now, though, right?
A little bit. I'm not sure they're gonna have an expiring.
Yeah, I think Courtney Lee might be last on the list.
Yeah,
Philly right now.
No. I mean, Philly. Priority number 1, 2, and 3 is LeBron, and I know they had a conversation with his people today. But if he doesn't come on board, you still have to improve your team. And one good way of doing that is Biz. Even if you get Redick on a better deal this year, Beasley can still fit in there. I think. I'm not sure haven't seen their budget, but I think it can happen. So here is my intel for you guys. And credit to Alan Hahn from Kiss FM for putting it out there. But I looked at the math. I was like, you know what? This actually works.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Silver signed this past week, right? I think his contract now is for 2023. And I think the NBA right now, because the NBA is almost like 10 months out of the year, I think they try not to overtake the NFL. And to overtake the NFL, you're going to need two things to happen. You're going to need for Lakers to be good, and you're going to need for New York to be good. Right?
Yeah, you would hope.
If New York is in the playoff, the amount of money the NBA makes is going to be it's just going to be crazy. So I think what's going to happen next year is LeBron goes to Lakers for sure, build that, and next year Kevin Durant comes to New York. You guys might say, Cody, it's not going to happen, but look at the contract he signed today. It's a 1-year contract.
Right.
Next year is option, and I think you have the number 1 player in the league in Lakers. You have the number 3 player in New York. I think Kevin Durant is a better possible than Kyrie. Kyrie, I know you guys love him. I know he's KP's boy, but dude
KD don't want that responsibility, man.
Oh my God!
Who?
Listen, man, listen.
KD don't want that type of responsibility, bro.
KD wants it because he has the only way for him to be thought as greater than LeBron. He has to prove himself in a New York type of setting. He has to be able to say, I carry the team. Until he does that, there's no way he surpasses LeBron. And I think he wants to.
The NBA is crazy enough that anything can freaking happen. Right?
I mean, yeah.
We know that. But that being said, I think that's a long jump, right? To go from one of the greatest teams in the history of the sport to what the Knicks have going on right now.
I don't know.
But guys, he has nothing to prove after this season. He has nothing to prove.
I hear you.
They might win a third championship. It's not a championship thing for him. It'll be a legacy thing. And for him to be a legacy player, for him to be on the same level as LeBron, he has to lead a team. He cannot be the best guy on the team. He has to lead a team.
Why not OKC or the Wizards?
True that.
Well, this is an older, wiser KD, and I think he understands that he couldn't do anything. Like, I think the fact that he's in Golden State has really matured him for him to be able to be like, okay, for me to overtake LeBron, I got to break a team. And guys, let's not forget, Kyrie is injured prone. So do you want your guard to give you maybe 2 seasons out of the 4, and then not even, and plus KP's gonna be injured prone throughout his career. So do we really want Kyrie? All right. No more. All right, guys.
All right, yo, Cody, man, appreciate you, bro. Thanks a lot, man.
Later.
KD don't want that stress on his head, man.
Listen. If KD wants to come to the New York Knicks, man, I'll punch a troll for him. It's all good.
KD, he don't want
but
that.
I don't see that happening.
Man. No way, man.
No. But a lot of people are going to have fun writing about it for a whole year.
Yeah, we could have fun talking about it, but KD don't want that type of stress, man. I just don't see it, man. I think he went for that 1-on-1 to get an even bigger bag from Golden State. When the salary cap increases.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
sure.
Yeah, and just to leave options open, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think you got to. I think it's good business sense just to do that.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man. Let's see what's going on in the chat. See who's slandering each other.
All right.
Keith Turner. I see a lot of trash talk going on in the chat, man. Let's see what's going on.
Yo, we need that at the top, chat slander.
Yeah, you gotta like it, man. Steve Brown was good. T. Williams, Cody, thanks for the call. What's going on? Matthew's in here. I think W here is in here starting a riot. He's got people triggered. Lord Sintis, what's going on? He says, I just lost that one. Hold on. Nick D says if we get Durant, KP's traded. I wouldn't see that. Jordan Grossman says KD will go home to Washington before he comes to New York. I believe that.
Me too.
I definitely believe that. Ed Santana, what's good? Ed's always in here. Who else is in here? Eddie Suarez, what's going on, man? Michael Parker says Clint Capella. No, I think Capella will end up re-signing with the Rockets.
Yeah, man.
I'm just laughing. Melo asked KD to come to New York 2 years ago, and he slapped him in his face.
Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Matthew on that one. Exactly. Melo and KD is supposed to be friends. And Melo's recruitment pitch fell flat, man.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is, man. Listen, man, we got Frank, we got KP, we got Kevin Knox. We're building over here, man. I'm not worried about free agents, man. I'm not worried about KD, man.
No one's worried about Kyrie? Nobody?
I mean, I think Kyrie's realistic. I think Kyrie's a realistic option. I think Kemba ends up being the guy.
I mean, yeah, I just think with Kyrie, it's one thing to leave Cleveland, leave LeBron. I think when that first happened, everyone was like, yo, who is this dude? Like, how do you do that? And I think he recovered pretty well from that. Yeah. I don't know. Like, where's Boston? We got to see where all these free agents shake out. But, like, Boston could be in the finals next year.
Yeah.
And then
how could he walk away from that? Team? How could he walk away from that? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. That's the only thing I would worry about with that.
I thought he was crazy for leaving LeBron, you know, when they could have easily went to the championship and probably had a chance to win it this year had they had him.
That's why I said there's a shot, man. I said it last stream.
I guess, but it's like Boston is just so well built for the whole, you know, for years to come. I don't know. Does he really want it that bad? I mean, kudos to him if he did, you know?
If he wants to be the man. If he's good, he'll be the man at the Celtics too, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Kemba, man. I think it's going to be Kemba. For some reason, I just feel like we're going to strike out on Kyrie, and I think Kemba's going to be sitting there.
Kemba's going to come home, huh?
I think Kemba comes home. That's my pick.
Kemba's coming home? Okay.
July 1st, that's my pick. You heard it here first. I think it's going to be Kemba, man.
Kemba and Lance Stevenson? The New York connection?
Yo, let's get to Lance.
The New York connection?
Let's get to Lance, because Lance's name is in the mix for free agency, man. What do you guys think of bringing Lance home, man?
Just make him dance, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'll pass, man. JB, what do you think?
We can do without that. We already did that with Beasley last year.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and Beasley, though, I think is obviously more useful because he can, you know, score the way he scores. But yeah, I'll pass on.
Yeah, we can't have too many knuckleheads on the team, man.
I just want my all troll. Can I have my all troll team though? Can I have my LeBron troll team?
Oh my God, Kanter, Lance, and Beasley.
Kanter and Lance.
Kanter, Lance, and Noah.
And Noah. Oh my God.
That's all I wanted. That's all I want for Christmas.
Oh my God, yo, that might be the move. The all LeBron troll team.
What? I just want to make the playoffs and have the LeBron troll team.
You put Frank at the 1. You put Frank at the 1.
Yeah, pushing him.
You put Lance at the 2. Yeah. Right? You put Beasley at the 3, Kanter at the 4, Noah at the 5. And just have at it.
I'm with it. I'm ready. I'm with it.
Man. I don't see it happening. I would love to. I think a couple years ago when he came off of that a couple good seasons in his first stint with Indiana and he became a free agent or he was available. I think it was before he went to Memphis and he was out there. I would have loved to have had him, but let's take a pass on Lance.
To be serious though, seriously, I feel like I want to kind of keep veterans away. I want to give Knox the free lane to actually develop and get some minutes. With Mario here, even bringing Mario here, I felt a little bit weird about it because I still want to.
I don't think that hurts Knox that much though. You think so?
Yeah, but it's still different because as a coach, I don't feel like you feel less obligated to give the veteran the minutes. You know what I'm saying? When they're both young, you don't feel as bad giving the one young guy minutes over the other. So on that aspect of it, I don't think I really want like a veteran small forward here in general.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And one thing here I'm reading in the chat, Dana Girl 24 is saying, y'all can't say the Knicks are building something and smack down the thought of anyone wanting to come. And you know that's a good point, but I think that all we're saying is like Philly has built something. And now where they're at to get someone like LeBron to come, I think is a little different after the success that they've had with that young group than where the Knicks would be at next summer. So it's not to say, oh yeah, we're building something, but then the team's crap and that's why we don't think Kevin Durant's going to come. It's that next summer, I don't think this young group.
Yeah, we're not ready to take the corner yet.
Right. If they somehow surprised us all and, you know, Kevin Knox had like a Donovan Mitchell type season and Frank took that next step and we were like this surprise, like little, you know, 6-7 seed and made, you know, it tough in a first round matchup and KP came back and he's like the beginning of last year and, you know, basically everything's going great. Then I think, it is true. You might change your calculus a little bit about how attractive it is. But if we're literally a lottery team with like the 3rd or 4th worst record in the league, that's different.
We got to keep building.
It just might take a little more time to get to that point, like where the Sixers are at now. That's all. But good point by Danny Girl.
I agree with that. Yeah, Danny Girl, she's always in there. Shout out Danny Girl. Tamuri's father, Buckets got senses in there. Shout out everybody who's in here. And once again, man, this is post-game live. We got special guest Knicks Film School here, breaking down some free agents, talking Knicks. Thanks for the support. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up if you liking this stream.
Yeah, man.
If you support Post Game Live, just hit that thumbs up on the video. It helps us. It helps get the video out there to more Knicks fans. So the more people we have, the better it is down the line, man. So
same with the Nick of Time show. Hit the thumbs up over there too.
Same with the Nick of Time show, man. We in here, man. Who else are we linked to? Anthony Tolliver. What do you guys think about this guy, Anthony
actually,
Tolliver?
I just saw when we first joined that Shams was saying top brass from the Clippers have flown to Dallas to meet with Anthony Tolliver in his home. So he's reached the point, if you're flying to
that's
see
serious.
Like, I don't know if we're going to get him on a 1-year cheap deal.
Yeah.
Man.
Don't look like it. Wilson Chandler just subscribed. Yo, welcome Wilson Chandler to the chat. Let's go.
Is that I got inside information?
I just seen the notification on the street, bro. Said Wilson Chandler just subscribed to the channel, man.
A trade happening?
Yeah, we lit right now.
What do you leave for Wilson Chandler?
Yo, shout out Wilson Chandler, man.
He got the inside info right now.
Man. Yo, Jay Ellis, I think you got like Trey Burke or something following you on Instagram, right?
Oh, Trey Burke's mom follows me on Instagram.
Oh man, you lit, man. Yeah, I don't have. Yo, you know whose mom followed me the other day? Alondro Trier's mom followed me on Twitter, man.
Oh, word?
Yeah, man. I'm moving up. I'm moving up, man. Shout out.
And I got Dotson. Dotson follows me on Instagram.
Yeah, Dotson does
now
follow
we know
you,
why who you guys won't talk anything bad about for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we gotta lay low with the slander, man. I try to keep the IG page real neutral. You know what I mean?
Oh man. No, I post podcast clips, and me and my guy be arguing with Trey Burke. I'd be mad nervous posting that. Like, I hope his mom.
Yeah, man. I try to keep the slander to a low, man. Yo, we got a call in here, man. Yo.
Hey, this is Danny Girl. This is Danielle.
Danny Girl.
Oh, hey, Danielle.
What's going on?
I'm thinking about this whole small forward, or what? Somebody to step in at the 4 while KC is out. I just saw something about Tolliver and all of that stuff.
Yep.
I don't understand why people, number one, consider Beasley to be a knucklehead. Like, what did he do last season that was quite knuckleheadish, if you will?
Yeah.
And I'd rather take him who can actually score on his own than Tolliver, just for defense sake. Like, if defense is Fizz's calling card, let's see what he can do. I'd rather have Beasley than go get Anthony Tolliver at 33 years old.
That's fair.
To come in and play, to be a starter, or even if he comes off the bench. Like, I'd rather have Beasley than any of the options that we've kind of stated right now, especially if Tyler Quinn is like, people are going to be in actual like positions, or even if you want to go positionless. Beasley wasn't a terrible defender last year, but I think he'd be better with Fizdale.
I pushed that point too, that I feel like he'll be better defensively over Fizdale. I feel like Jeff didn't really hold him accountable throughout the whole year.
Well, it was Roll Rambis' fault, man. Rambis supposed to be the defensive coordinator of this whole shit, man.
That's the Lakers' problem now.
That's the Lakers. He crawled back home to Magic, man. You knew it. He crawled back home, man.
But no, it's true. Like, unless I'm just drawing a complete blank, what did Beasley, like you said, what did Beasley do that was like, everyone talks about Beasley being a problem. It's like,
it's just he's never shed that reputation. I just think that's all it is.
I don't think anything came up.
Nah, I think he did well.
Right, I think we judged him off of his first stint in Miami.
Yeah.
Because even when he was in Phoenix, nobody was like, "Oh, this guy's a knucklehead."
Yeah, so it was Minnesota as well.
He was in Minnesota. Nobody said any of that. When he went back to Miami, it was like, "Yo, Beasley's like a model citizen." Like, he was a 19-year-old kid who did do some stupid stuff off the court.
Yeah.
But as a 29-year-old man, I feel like he's made, even when he made bad decisions on the court, as a team, we made a lot of bad decisions on the court last year, right? So I'm not going to hang that all as it's Beasley's fault, right? Like, when we needed him to score, he did his job. He lost some games, but he won some games. You know what I'm saying? So I feel more comfortable with the known quantity knowing that we're going to need scoring next year, and that he can learn defense, just like what we were talking about earlier with Ntilikina, right? Like the defense is the part that takes the longest. He's already got the offense, and he was better last year on defense. I feel like he could still improve, even if not as a one-on-one defender, as a help defender, as a team defender. I feel like he could be
still room
much
for
better.
improvement.
Yeah, that's the room. That's where he really struggled with. Not one-on-one. It was really the help defense that was bad.
Yo, Danny girl, appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Y'all doing a great job.
All right, thanks again. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to come down to Mario or Beasley, man. Everybody in the chat, give me your preference. Who would you prefer? Would you prefer Beasley coming back, or would you prefer the Knicks try something new with Herzonja? Yeah, I think we got another call in here. Yo.
Hey, what's up? Hey, this is Sean.
Sean, what's going on, man? How's everything?
Listen, I don't have any problems with keeping Beasley for a year, but he's definitely not the type of guy that you can give a lot of responsibility to. But I mean, he's kind of like in the same boat as a Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll chuck up shots, and he might be a little bit of a mismatch for opposing players because of his height. But when the game's on the line, he's not the type of guy that you can really trust to take you there.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
All these are fair
So
points.
if you bring on a guy like Mario Hezonja, I don't think that would actually be a bad fit, because the Knicks organization right now is still at a point of talent acquisition. We still need to evaluate young talent. So bringing on another young talent wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
especially
no,
for this team.
That's it. My thing with picking him over Beasley is nothing, not as much to do with Beasley and more what you said. It's just we know what Beasley is.
Yeah.
We don't know if Mario can be something more. So if you can get him for that price, I think it's worth, doing that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with me, because I think I said the same thing you said. If the Knicks were a lot closer.
Hold on. I'm sorry. LeBron James has agreed to a 4-year, $154 million deal with the Lakers.
Oh, really?
That was easy. I knew it, though. I knew it.
But we got to do it live on the stream.
We broke it live on Knicks Fan TV, post-game live with the Knicks Film School and with the Nick of Time show. This is how it goes down, man. History being made.
The draft live, LeBron news live.
LeBron going to the Lakers. Wow.
Wilson Chandler's in the chat.
Wilson Chandler says it. Wilson Chandler is shocked.
It looks like Woj beat.
Well, we saw the
11 seconds.
The rumors about LeBron going to the Knicks are over now.
Yeah. I guess we can stop sweating that one out, right?
Thank you, God.
Yo, Sean, thanks for the call, man. Definitely stay up with us, man.
Yo, shout out to Quinn Jones on Facebook chat.
Yeah, I mean that was obvious. I think they're gonna try to still pull that Kawhi Leonard move. I thought the PG move was kind of interesting that he didn't even give them a meeting. What do you guys think about that?
Westbrook got a hold on him.
Yeah, that's some loyalty to Westbrook, man. I thought that was very interesting.
Well, I'm always kind of spinning the Knicks take, but does it change at all the way you look at certain things in the sense of, obviously with Melo, I think that was a little bit different, that whole situation with him in terms of what they traded to get him and whatnot. So I'm just going to put that to the side. But when we talk about any trade, if a guy like Kyrie, for instance, is like, oh, I want to come to New York as a free agent, and he might become available in a trade sooner, I guess Paul George now is the case of, is he an anomaly? Is he just the weird guy that some reason picked Oklahoma City? Or is he now tell teams, you better trade for a guy when you can get him, even if he says he would sign with you, because you just don't know.
Yeah, because Paul George, I was shocked because the Lakers are his team, right? I mean, that's his hometown. I was sure that LA was in the bag. You know what I mean?
I wasn't that sure.
So you think he was going for that bag regardless? Or do you think it was the loyalty to Westbrook or the money or a combination?
I think it was both. I think it was a combination of both, man. I don't know if it had. Actually, I think it's more Westbrook than anything, man. I don't even know what had to do with the money. I think you start to build a rapport with one person, and you have a 1-2 piece right here. You start to think if we change some things around, maybe we can get a little further.
So, and he could have structured the deal where he signed for to get to the 10-year vet where he gets a higher cap hit. So he could have made plenty of money going to the Lakers. So yeah, I think it was more the relationships he built there.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a lot of chips falling on the first. Well, listen, I mean, at least LeBron didn't hold everybody up. I thought it was pretty obvious though it was LA. I'm really not surprised here.
Everybody knew it.
I'm really not surprised. You know what I'm saying? But hey, good for him. Good luck, and we'll see how they build that team. LeBron and LeVar Ball sharing the same microphone.
Oh man, that's gonna
be something.
That's gonna be something else, man.
God.
Unless they ship them out.
When they have a conversation like courtside or something.
What is gonna happen with that, man? I don't know, man. But in other news, the Knicks have been linked to Amir Johnson, man. So
Segway King.
Segue to more important news. We got Amir Johnson on the rumor mill. Give me your thoughts.
We needed that Laker fan to call in about a half hour later, I guess. Or maybe we did it.
Yeah. JJ called it a little too early, man. But
he called it.
He called it. He definitely called it.
He was having dinners.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amir Johnson, man. Amir Johnson. Like I was talking about earlier about looking back at our fit. Us losing Kylo Quinn makes people like Amir Johnson a thing of need for this team.
Yeah, I think we could use some big man help for sure.
Yeah,
some front court depth is needed.
And not even just big men in general, pick power forward, but power forwards with certain types of strengths because we need defensive power forwards more in particular. That now that KO was gone, and he's a guy who's gonna do that. He actually won the Hustle Award.
Yeah.
Last year, getting loose balls and screen assists and deflections and contested shots. And that's kind of what we need right now, man. Someone who's going to be able to slide their feet on the pick and rolls and do all the dirty work for us. Now that KO was gone.
JB,
I feel like he's going to be gone.
JB, what's your take on Amir Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that that's what I'd miss with someone like Kyle Quinn because it's funny. He's not like your modern big where he's going to, all the buzzwords, stretch the floor and shoot threes. But he is a modern big in the sense of the way he can pass the ball from that elbow.
Yeah.
He sort of stretches the floor with his passing, which people don't talk about, but it's true. You got to be up on him. If you just let him sit there, he's like Tom Brady, just finding targets all over the place.
Definitely.
So if you're defending him, you got to kind of get up on him, right? So I think we would miss that with replacing him like a guy like Amir Johnson, who's going to be positioned different on the court and have a different role in offense. He's not facilitating anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe Trevor Booker.
I wouldn't mind Trevor Booker. I think
he has some passing ability.
Yeah, I think he can be a good KO replacement, and he brings a lot of toughness. His defense is pretty decent. I wouldn't mind Trevor Booker on the cheap. A cheap veteran minimum deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like Tolliver though, in a sense of if we're just talking now the guys that would be older vets because right he can shoot that three. I think he was I didn't even realize he ended up as high as he did, 5th in NBA in 3-point shooting last year.
He was a beast.
Yeah, man. He shot the ball well from 3-point range, man.
He destroyed us, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the Old Man River, man. The Old Man River game. He destroyed us when we played him, man.
I feel like we've been trying to get this guy for 3 different free agency periods. Yeah.
Oh, there's always that guy, sometimes it's just an agent who, they all use the Knicks as leverage, but there's always every free agent here, that same name.
I'm telling you, Anthony Tolliver's name has come up multiple times. But yeah, he shot 43% from 3-point range last year. He was good for Detroit. He was definitely good for Detroit.
Yeah, so if these kind of Trevor Booker, Amir Johnson, Tolliver, if you're deciding between that group, I'll take Tolliver, of that group.
I mean, we need some 3-point help badly, man. We were badly outgunned on the 3-point line last year. So I would definitely take a flyer on Tolliver. What about Jeff Green? Should take on Jeff Green.
I think I like Amir Johnson. But, yeah.
Over Jeff Green?
No. I was talking about the big man.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Jeff Green, Jeff. I mean, he played fairly well in the finals. You know, he definitely came alive. I didn't even think he was still in the league until I just seen him. I seen him one day on ABC.
Heart issues or something.
Yeah, he had a crazy heart ailment during his OKC days or his Boston days, one of them, and he was on the mend for a while. But one day I'm watching NBA on ABC. I see Jeff Green throw the alley to LeBron. I'm like, oh shit, Jeff Green is back in the league. I think he ends up with a contender though. He should be fighting for chips. I don't see us in the Jeff Green sweepstakes, but
me neither.
Yeah. That was Jeff Green. Who else is in the runnings? So we went through Jeff Green, went through Tolliver, Johnson. Yeah, it's looking bleak. It's looking real bleak.
It's all 2019.
It's all 2019. 2019 is the goal, man. So speaking of which, a lot of people ask about, in terms of 2019 and getting to 2019, they ask about Noah and whether stretching his contract makes sense in terms of 2019. What do you guys think about that? Well, let me go with JB first because JB made the graphic on that. So let me go to you, JB. What do you think about the Noah if we stretch Noah?
I mean, I've been long saying I would not stretch him unless I absolutely had to. So for instance, like the Lakers, just 10 minutes ago, where they found out that LeBron was coming before anyone reported it. If the Knicks find out next summer that we unsuccessfully could trade Courtney Lee, there was no other way to create cap space, but there is a superstar that wants to come here, and the only way to make it happen is you stretch Noah. Then at that moment, I will stretch Noah. But other than that, I want to just ride it out and use because I even think, we're talking about all these things about who replaces, KO and all this stuff. Noah can play a fine role next year.
I thought he could have played a fine role last year.
Yeah. So I'm just like, ride it out. So we have even more cap space in 2020. There's no reason to do it if you don't need to do it. And like I just said, the way where you would need to do it is a pretty extreme example.
Now, let me ask you all this, because I'm looking at the graphic. I have the graphic pulled up right now. So you're saying if we stretched them in 2019, right, we would gain about $13 million in cap space.
Right.
However, in 2020, we would lose $6 million.
Right? Yeah, right. Because they would have to take, so that along the top of the graphic, that 19 million.
Yeah. When
you stretch him, you basically divide that by 3.
Okay.
So as long as it's after September 1, if you wait till September 1, the 2018-19 salary just stays on the books. And then you would only stretch out the next, that last year for 3 years. So the point is, right now, I think like we were talking earlier, they have about $21 million in cap space. So a max contract's around $34 million. Mm-hmm. So it sort of works out perfect where if you couldn't trade Courtney Lee or you couldn't do some of these other things, you stretch Noah that could get you there, also waiting to re-sign KP, but you lose for those 2 years that $6.5 million.
So another devil's advocate question here, right? If the cap is supposed to increase in 2020 and 2021 to, I think it was about 119 million. How much is that $6 million that you were losing worth if the cap is expected to go up?
Yeah, I think we would, let's see, I can actually look at my little tape. Yeah. So right now, if they don't stretch Noah and just didn't sign anyone really else in long term, they could have up to, with Hardaway Jr.'s contract, up to 40 million in cap space. Or you said in 2019 or 2020?
Yeah, if they did it in 2019 when they get the
oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking you're saying 2020. No, in 2019, that 109 just means, I think before the projection was around like 108, so it didn't really go up. The projection doesn't really change the calculus that much. It's about what we were saying it was.
Right, but for 2020, didn't they say it could go up to, I think, 119?
What? Yeah, 116.
116. Right. So what I'm saying is, if it went up that much in 2020, is that extra $6 million a detriment if we don't have it? If it meant having that extra 12 next year to go after, let's say for argument's sake, Kyrie, to get Kyrie that 30 mil.
The problem is, if they wanted to add another max player, you basically remember by 2020, you're going to have KP's extension, which is going to be close to $30 million.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to hit 30 for sure.
Right. So you would also have Tim Hardaway Jr., and maybe you could trade him by then when it's just 1 year left. But just Tim Hardaway Jr. and KP would be like close to $50 million.
Oh, shit.
So every penny would count if you wanted another max player. So I would say you could use that in 2019 maybe to get a max player. Again, if you don't do it in other ways, like trading Lee or waiving some other players. Mm-hmm. But you would then lose probably the chance in 2020 to sign, because that $6 million could be the difference when you then have those big salaries like KP's and whoever you sign in 2019 that you're not obviously going to take off the books.
It's an interesting debate, man. Jay Ellis, what do you think? You say just let it ride, let the contract ride.
Oh man, it hurt. It would hurt to just like lose all that when you're 1 year from freedom.
Yeah.
He's like 1 year from freedom, and then you stretch him. It's like, I understand though. If somebody big like Kyrie comes, then you gotta seriously consider it. But even if that happens, I'm doing some tests on his knees, man. I'm having him go to the doctor, stretch out.
Stress test. Give him a stress test.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the MPJ treatment.
Facts.
Yep.
So speaking of Kyrie in 2019, right? And let's skip whether we want him or not. I think that's early. But in terms of preparing the cap to have that flexibility to get him, some of the things I've been reading that we had to do is we got to waive Lance, trade Courtney Lee, right? Trade Courtney Lee or Noah for argument's sake to try to get that cap. JB, what are some of the other things that we would have to do to get that money to be able to sign a max player?
Yeah, so basically, if they waive Lance, because he only has $1 million guaranteed on his contract in 2019, they wait to re-sign KP because his cap hold saves you $10 million in space, and then you have to renounce Baker, Moutier, Troy Williams. You let all them go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do all that, and that gets you to about 21 million, and then the 13 million difference is either trading Courtney Lee without taking money back or stretching Noah. So I think that's why most fans are looking at that and saying, well, geez, we can trade Courtney Lee for something and not take the money back. And then we don't have to worry about stretching Noah unless, the other way to look at it too, though, is do you only want a max space? So do you want to just get max amount, sign out one superstar, and then that's your team? You don't add anyone else. Or do you say, well, geez, if we trade Lee and stretch Noah, you now could sign a max player plus like someone in that 10 to 12 million
that's
range.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying how much is that extra $6 million in 2020, 2021 worth if we stretch Noah in next year?
Right. But to answer your question, basically the easy things to do is waiving Lance. Let's put it this way, the things they can do at no cost really to them is they waive Lance, that costs them $1 million because that's what's guaranteed. But they can get rid of Baker, Moutier, Troy Williams, all those guys. That doesn't cost them anything. They do all that, and they're about 12, 13 million short, depending on where the cap falls. And then the hard work is where you get that last 12 to 13 million, either through Lee or Noah.
So when you say trading Courtney Lee for no salary in return, basically you're saying we need basically an expiring contract that's equal to Lee's salary, right? Because Courtney Lee has 2 more years left on his deal. So basically we need to bring somebody maybe
like a competitive team this year that wants him as like a 3-and-D kind of guy. Even though I think people watching Knicks every night would debate how much on the D side he really is, but he's known as a 3-and-D guy. And he does have his moments where he plays deep, but you're looking to trade him for expiring deal next year.
I hope so.
Courtney Lee, man. I was a Lee fan, man. I thought Lee was the best investment we had over the last 2 years in terms of value. In terms of value,
Leo Quinn.
Yeah, I liked Courtney Lee, man. He was definitely a soldier for us. He rode through the drama, the Phil Jackson era, and he took it like a man, man. He was a soldier for us, a captain. You know what I'm saying?
How much do the Nuggets hate Kenneth Faried? That's my question.
Yeah.
Could we get the Manimal?
A lot of people want, right?
Could we get the Manimal here?
Can we get the Manimal here?
Yeah, because that's an expiring deal.
That's an expiring.
Yeah.
But to get the Manimal here, are we willing to give him a second-round pick with Courtney Lee to get the Manimal here?
True. I don't know. I mean, we could use him. We could definitely use him. You know, but I think what JB said, I think the answer will be revealed in February, right, by the trade deadline.
Or like we said earlier, if they got over 15 roster spots this summer, because there's also rumors they're going to re-sign Hicks. So if they have Kornet, Hicks, and one of these free agents we talked about, now they're at 16.
Yeah.
So now they would have to trade basically 2 for 1. And maybe they would say, okay, we're going to trade Lee and, whoever they have to throw in there. If it's like a Baker or, one of these guys, and then you only get one player back.
Sheesh.
That's the only way I see him going before the season. Or, again, too, because of, like we said, with the minutes, right? Like the lineup composition, maybe they think, we don't want him just getting in the way because, like you said earlier, you feel obligated to play some of these guys.
Right.
And you don't want to hurt his trade value by not playing them. So maybe they say, we want that settled before the year. So I don't think it's necessarily by February, but, there'll be a lot of talk all the way up to then.
Yeah, Lee has to go before training camp, man. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Dotson get those minutes. He can elevate everyone, and that would be nice. But let's see how it goes, man. We are approaching 8:30. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's still in here. Buckets got census here. Young Hayes, Tyon Reed, 3-No, W here, Troy Flett. If you guys want to call up, let's get some last minute calls in. We definitely got through, I think, most of the program that we wanted to get through. Oh, we got a call right on time from New Jersey. Yo.
Yo.
Yo, what's good, bro? Who's this?
Steve's from Jersey. Am I in the chat?
Yeah, you in the chat, man. You live and direct with Post Game Live, pal.
Welcome. You made it.
Oh, man. Thanks for taking my call, man. Appreciate it.
Always, man. What's your question or comment on Knicks free agency?
Man, I just had a question about, let's say heading into next season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think it's a possibility where we can attach Noah to our draft pick and move back in the draft just to get rid of Noah's contract?
You want to move back? You want to move up in the draft?
No, move down. Move
back. So like we don't lose a first round pick, but we give up our higher pick.
I guess it would depend on where it is, right?
Man, I wouldn't even care if I get the 25th or the 30th pick, as long as I could take his contract off the books.
I don't know, man. If we're looking at a top 5 pick, man, even top 10, I'm keeping that, man. We got to keep these assets, man.
That's too wild.
That makes that Noah contract hurt even more.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about Noah is he was the draft pick the Knicks traded. Was it for Marbury? I think it was, or was that
Eddie Curry?
Eddie Curry.
Yeah, Eddie Curry.
Yeah.
Eddie Curry.
So it'd be really ironic if they traded Eddie Curry, got Eddie Curry for that draft pick that was Noah, and then lost, to get rid of Noah, had to trade a draft pick. But I hear what you're saying. You're trying to get him off the books and everything without losing a first round pick because you would trade back. But I just think you'd rather have that higher pick.
Just wait 1 more year, 2 more years.
Just wait 1 more year, man. We just got to ride it out, man.
That next 9th and the 10th pick could be who knows.
Yeah. Noah's coming back from exile.
I'm cool with all waiting.
Better than ever, man.
Whatever.
Nah, I'm cool with the waiting.
All right, cool.
I love what the front office is doing with the patience.
Yeah, we got to have patience, man. Just ride it through, Just going to have to ride it through, man. Yo, T, appreciate the phone call, though, man. Definitely call up next time.
Gotcha. I appreciate what you guys are doing, too. Have a good night, fellas.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for supporting, bro. Yeah, man, that was T. Let's see, any other, let's see what's going on in the chat. And JLJB, point out anything in the chat if you want to comment on. Let's get some last questions in there before we wrap up. I gotta watch Power at 9 o'clock, man. Power's coming on at 9 o'clock.
Knicks 27 is saying, God bless LeBron out of the East. What do you guys think of that in terms of now he's out of the East? You know, does that change the calculus a little bit in terms of, 2019, KP's back, Knicks are players and free agent. Are they more attractive of a place to come because you're getting away from the West?
I think you still, obviously, you got to put Boston up there as the new Kings.
Boston and Philly, right?
Put Philly up there. I think maybe Milwaukee takes a leap up.
Oh, the new coach over,
Maybe with Budenholzer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Milwaukee takes a leap with the Greek Freak. Who else? Wizards, trash. Miami.
I think, you said them.
You know Miami's going to be a 5th, 6th. You know they always surprise.
They added Austin Rivers.
Who? The Wizards?
Yeah.
Yeah, trash, man. Trash.
Trash.
Wizards trash, man.
Jay Ellis is a classic Wizards guy, right? He's bringing them up.
I think he's brought them up multiple times, man. Multiple times, man. So I think, the class of the East is now going to be Boston, Philly, and maybe Milwaukee takes a leap at 3rd, or does Toronto try to hang in the top 4, 5?
Yeah. You got those are the 4. But I think it's just the point is you can at least create the narrative of, if you're a free agent in 2019, do you want to go in the West with?
The West is crowded, man.
Golden State and now the Lakers and LeBron come over
and LeBron. Right? Telling you, man.
Come to the Knicks, man.
Come to the Knicks and win. Be a man.
Be a man.
I don't know, man. Does this mean with LeBron going, does this mean Philly ratchets up their trade for Kawhi Leonard? Or does Boston try to lock him in?
Because I think the Lakers now are going to – I don't know what leverage they have other than Kawhi saying, I want to sign there. But
that's it.
I think they're going to try to, pair them up now that they lost out on Paul George, right?
Watch this, man. The Lakers always get off with some bullshit trade. They're going to end up trading, like, the retirement rights of DJ and Benga. Fucking who else is on that team? Josh Hart for Kawhi Leonard and a second round pick.
Yeah. And Rambis.
I'm telling you, man, it's typical Lakers, man. It's typical Lakers.
They find a way.
They
Only
find
that
a way,
man.
man.
Fell through, right?
Yeah. But they find a way, man. Carl Jean's in the chat, with respect to Carl. He's always in here. Anonymous Squeaker. What's going on? Danny Landis, New Jizzle, Nick D. Yeah, man. Chat's going in. 3-0. 3-0 says the Blazers are out of the playoffs as Dame is asking for a trade. What about Dame Lillard, man? I'm always intrigued by Dame Lillard.
Oh, yeah. I like Dame. I'm a big Dame guy, too.
No, I like Dame, man. I like Dame. Dame actually replied to one of my Instagram posts, man.
Okay.
In the early stages of Knicks Fan TV, man. I slandered Dame Dollars and he clapped back.
Oh,
he did, man. This was the game when they came to the Garden and something happened. I think him and Frank and somebody got into it, or I forgot what happened, man.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then Kanter instigated some stuff. Right?
Yeah, something happened, man, and I posted something. I got a notification like Damian Lillard responded to your post. I was like, Damian Lillard? You know what I mean?
What did he say?
What? I forget. He was like, yeah, that's why we won the game. I was like, damn, bro. Did I just trigger Damian Lillard, bro? That's crazy, man.
Competitors.
Yeah, I love how these guys get upset over nobody guys saying stuff. Huh?
Yeah, that was the first time I knew. I'm like, damn, this shit is really your shit is really out there like that.
It's lit, man. Hey, man.
It's
when
crazy,
Brandon Jennings
man.
blocked me on Instagram, I was like, okay, I'm making some noise.
Wow, you got blocked by Brandon Jennings, bro. What'd you do?
Yo, nothing. I didn't do any. That was the crazy part. I think I made a graphic and it got shared, and then Knicks fans started slandering him when he moved.
Oh, he blamed you for it.
I think he just was like, "Oh, you made the graphic? Block."
He blamed you for it, man.
I was like,
I gotcha.
That's crazy.
I was like, I like the guy. But...
JB, who's your most famous interaction so far?
Actually, it might be Kanter. Like early on, when I didn't even have a lot of follows.
Yeah.
He took one of my videos I did of him early in the year because it happened to be like one where he played, good defense. And he just took it and was like, I don't know, he put like some funny thing like defensive player of the year with like, the muscle little emoji.
Oh, I saw
yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool. When that happened, I remember like seeing the notification pop up and like you said, like you see the name and you're like, what? Like it's probably just some other account. Like
it catches you off guard, man. Definitely
Yeah.
catches you off guard, man. I feel like KO's been retweeted some of your stuff in the past too, right?
Yeah, no, he's good. I mean, he's pretty good about like, he's out there liking a lot of stuff, and he sets people off because someone will comment like, "Oh, KO, come to the Celtics," and he'll like it, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he's coming to Boston." But I think he's just nice about going out and just liking people when they're saying stuff. But yeah, it is funny when these guys actually notice things you say.
Yeah, man.
Kanter shared my graphic too, but he took my logo off, so I was like,
"Oh man, he ripped you off, bro." Yeah, he posted one of my graphics in his story or something, man. But Kanter's he's active on it. That's why he's the troll god, man.
Definitely, he knows what's happening.
That's why he's the troll god. All right, yeah, man. Before we wrap up, definitely shout out everybody in the chat. Once again, man, thanks for supporting. We'll be back on next week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Give us a thumbs up on the video. If you like the video, definitely share with your fellow Knicks fans. JB, what you think, man? This is your first time on the third screen. What you think?
Yeah, no, hopefully not my last time. I had fun with y'all. So definitely everyone make sure you follow along. I've been trying to promote you guys in the newsletter and on the site and whatnot because I've been liking what you're doing. But definitely enjoy being on, and hopefully we'll do it again.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely do it again. Yo, Jay Ellis, man, I've been telling you, man, the third screen is becoming one of distinction, man.
Man, I feel like it's pressure now. We gotta have a guest all the time.
I think we gotta go for poison. I think we gotta go straight for KP, bro.
I think so, man.
We gotta go straight for it, bro. Somebody get me Janice Porzingis email, man. We gotta talk to him, bro.
He's not doing anything, right?
I don't know, man. We gotta go straight for KP.
Got a lot of time to kill over there.
We got time to kill, man. We gotta go straight for KP, man.
Yeah, all the time between squats.
Facts, man. Jay Ellis, go ahead and plug everything.
SoundCloud.com/The Nick of Time Show for all my podcasts. You get it way faster on the SoundCloud. Actually, you can go to my YouTube as well. YouTube.com/The Nick of Time Show to check my YouTube and my podcast on YouTube plus the live stream. And check the blog, thenickoftimeshow.com.
There it is, man. And you know where I'm at. Knicks Fan TV, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Thanks again for the support. Post game live, man. We do this after major news. In the off season, we've been going like once a week. We're gonna try to keep a more consistent schedule, and definitely after every game. So, like I said, thanks for the support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you catch the next one. And yeah, that's the story, man. I'm about to go watch some Power, eat some dinner.
Jeff got something to promote?
Who?
Yeah. Knicks Film School. You guys hopefully know where to go for that, and that's it. Just follow these guys along because I enjoy the show.
Yeah, my fault, JB. I thought you had plugged the blog and the newsletter. But yeah, you guys
no, don't worry about it. No, we're good. Like I said, you got Nick of Time Show and Knicks Fan TV. Make sure everyone follows them on Twitter and Instagram and subscribes here on the YouTube channel, and we're all good.
Absolutely, man. See you guys later, man. Peace.
Later.
All right, cool. So, Jeff, what you think, man? I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, it worked out. For you guys, hopefully, I mean, what is like normal in terms of what you guys are getting like around at the first view? I've seen like you guys get a lot of views by the time it like posts and it's out there, but you feel good with what you got so far?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in terms of viewers?
Yeah.
This one, I think we probably had this one. I think we broke the record for most concurrent views. I think we were in the 200s at some point, and I was monitoring the YouTube chat.
Okay, good.